Here's your friendly reminder that being positive and feeling happy all the time is not natural because you're a human being, not a robot. Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me here today. If you're new, I'm Amanda. Welcome to the channel where we are all about shattering the mental health stigma. If you haven't already, please make sure you make sweet, sweet love to that subscribe button. Give the bell a few kisses so you're not missing any of this content designed to help you with your mental health or help you help someone else. Today I'm going to be taking a walk with the man in black himself, Johnny Cash. So clearly I do know who Johnny Cash is. I promise, contrary to what some on this channel probably think sometimes, I am not completely culturally anemic. Actually, my dad used to sing the song Waiting for a Train a lot when I was a kid, so I have a strong emotional connection to that song, and it strangely became more and more relatable the older I got, but that is the only Johnny Cash song I vividly remember. So my parents did listen to Johnny Cash a lot, and I'm sure I probably heard this song in passing at some point, but I have no memory of it, I have no recollection of having heard it, so to me that constitutes a first-time listen. So this is my reaction to the song Hurt by Johnny Cash.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend, everyone I know goes away in the end.
That is heartbreaking, but also incredibly relatable, whether because we're losing people to death or we're losing people emotionally that just cut ties with us or that we have to cut ties with. His voice to me is like whiskey poured over gravel. That is how I would describe it. It's smooth in its own way, but it's also undeniably rough, and it carries both this warmth while also having a lingering burn. And it actually reminds me a lot of my dad, because when my dad did sing that Waiting for a Train song, he sounded very similar to Johnny Cash. So I'm feeling a lot of loss here myself, a lot of grief that's kicking up, but I don't think anybody will ever come anywhere close to replacing him. He is a legend. He was asking, what have I become? A legend. That's what you've become, sir. But the line, I hurt myself today to see if I still feel, it speaks to the way some of us seek out pain as a grounding mechanism. So people that engage in self-harm, things like that, it can be grounding. It can be something that brings them back from dissociation or brings them back from mental spiral. And its emotional suffering feels completely unbearable yet abstract, and this physical pain can provide a momentary sense of control. It can be like a tether to reality, so to speak. The try to kill it all away, but remember everything, that that reflects how that past trauma, that regret, it can't be just erased, it can't be turned off. And if you try, it's just going to surface with greater intensity. It's just going to get louder. But that last line about everyone going away in the end, as I said, very relatable, very heartbreaking. That kind of made my breath hitch for a second though, because I struggle immensely with feelings of abandonment, whether people can love my quote-unquote devil face or whether it will scare them away. This is highly relatable. That was the really highly relatable part of this first section to me. It actually reminds me of the scene on the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, I know, going way, way back, but where Green Goblin has Spider-Man up on the roof, and he's saying, in spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. So obviously he's reflecting because he's older, and he's having people pass away around him, the people that are closest to him. I assume that was probably his wife, people that are really close to him passing away. But it can also be the people that turn on you when you need them the most. I think that there's many ways to interpret that.
And you could have it all. My empire of dirt, I will let you down. I will make you hurt.
You stay the hell away from me, you hear?
I wear this crown of thorns upon my liar's chair, full of broken thoughts I cannot repair.
I don't want to pause again too soon there, but I think that there's a lot to unpack in that very small little part. The My Empire of Dirt, as you can see through the imagery here, it's symbolizing how achievements or material success can feel meaningless when it's burdened by guilt, regret, self-destruction, grief, all of these things. But the crown of thorns, I wanted to touch on that before I forgot because it kind of hit me and I went, okay. I think that's a direct reference to Jesus, and I think in this context, it could represent the weight of guilt, the weight of grief, this self-imposed punishment, as he sees himself in some way deserving of suffering. And I'm not sure why. I don't know Johnny Cash's backstory well enough to know why he would feel that way, if there's something specific there. But unlike Jesus, so Jesus bore the crown so he could sacrifice for others. It was an act of sacrifice to others, right? He, as in Johnny here, is wearing it as this liar's chair, which I think that is suggesting that there's some kind of deception. There's a possibility of feeling unworthy of redemption. That's what I was taking from that. But this very much seems like his story. This seems like he is speaking this from his experience, and that's really driven home by the imagery here of his time on tour, of his different artifacts and stuff. I think, though, that this contrast between Jesus and how he's referring to himself, it really deepens the emotional impact of this, because it shows that internal struggle between seeking forgiveness and feeling irreparably broken.
Beneath the stains of time, the feelings disappear. You are someone else. I am still right here. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have it all. My empire of dirt, I will let you down. I will make you hurt. If I could start again, a million miles away, I would keep myself. I would find a way.
That building up there literally raised my heart rate. I could feel my heart beating faster during that buildup. And then it's almost just that resignation. His expression was just one of resignation. Closing the piano, I feel like, was just one of resignation and acceptance. this is a man in his twilight years, a man at the end of his life that's looking back at all these regrets. His life is flashing before him, and despite the fact that Johnny Cash is a legend, he's still feeling these regrets. He's still feeling grief. Clearly has had a lot of loss. The "you're someone else, I'm still right here." I think that that could be like others are healing, others are changing, and he's just feeling stuck, or there's been a change in dynamic in a relationship. I think that still could apply to loss, because that changes the dynamic of a relationship. Like, I'm still stuck here, you're someone else, you're somewhere else. Maybe he sees this person as an angel, you know, you're this angel looking over my shoulder, I'm still stuck here. So there's several ways that I could see that going, that I could see that being interpreted. The what have I become? My sweetest friend. Immediately, he says, "What have I become? A freaking legend." That's what I think. But I think that that's his self-reflection, possibly even self-loathing. He's grappling with consequences of his actions, consequences that have played out through his life. He feels unworthy in some way. I think that there's the warning that "I will let you down, I will make you hurt." I think that that's kind of reflective of feeling unworthy of love, and that's something that's very common for individuals who are struggling with their mental health. And now I'm super curious to dive way deeper into Johnny Cash's backstory, because I want to know more about his mental health journey. I can't believe I've never done that before, but I think that also the "I'll let you down, I'll make you hurt," it's reflecting the isolating effects of depression and addiction, because we push others away. We have this fear of causing them pain, so we push them away, or we're feeling like they're just not there for us in some way, you know. So there's a detachment or a self-imposed isolation. I still, to this day, am low-key terrified that no matter how hard I try, I will poison everyone that gets close to me, or I'll lose everyone close to me, that everyone close to me is just going to die. So I get that sentiment all of too well of "I will let you down, I will make you hurt," that I'm just terrified that I'm going to disappoint everyone, that I'm going to poison everyone, that I'm not good for people, that I've done too much, I've caused too much pain. But the final lines, I think, expresses this yearning, this longing for redemption and escape and self-recovery, or maybe just peace, maybe just an end to everything, a chapter that's closing, or even a book that's closing. But I think that it reflects, the song as a whole reflects this realization that the greatest loss wasn't external, because the man had everything, right? His loss wasn't external. It was losing himself and then yearning to reconnect to that self in some way. So I'm wondering, was it the fame? Like, the fame had him feeling like he lost himself, and then he's just yearning to reconnect to that. But I think, while it might seem bleak to some, the use of the word "would," right? That might sound kind of bleak. And at first I'm going, ooh, that sounds very hopeless. But I think that longing, that awareness of being a better version of yourself, can either A, be a catalyst toward real change, or at this stage in life when it seems like, as I said, he's winding down and he doesn't have a lot of time left, I think that it can be the revelation that allows you to start making peace, to start accepting, to start trying to repair those bridges before it's too late, or trying to at least come to terms with things, perhaps repair relationships before you go. I think that there's a lot, you know, that we can use it if we feel like we still have time left. Obviously, we never know. We can use it to be that catalyst toward real change. But I think at the end of life, it can be used to find acceptance and peace. So we can't undo what has been done, but I think there's always, even in the last days or years, I'm not sure how long he had left, but I think that there's always some options to repair what's been damaged, whether that's in ourselves, whether that's relationships with other people. I think there's always some options to repair, but I definitely felt my dad's energy here with this one. I think that, again, the imagery brought this to a whole new level because there's so many ways you can interpret it, and I was giving my own personal interpretations of the lyrics themselves and how they related to me, but this is clearly very powerful for him. This is his journey, his story, and how fame or his different life decisions and stuff affected him. And I just feel like I know him a little more intimately now, and I'm definitely curious, like I said, to dive deeper. So if you have any Johnny Cash backstory that you would like to share, I would love to hear more. I'd love to learn more. If there's any, I know there's a documentary, or not a documentary, I know there's a movie that I have not watched. Maybe I'll go watch that. Don't forget that good, bad, and crazy, share your mental health stories here in the comments. This is a safe space, and that's how we shatter the mental health stigma, is by talking about it. Give this video a thumbs up, share it. You never know who might need to see it. Thank you so much for suggesting that I take a walk with Mr. Cash. It was a lovely experience, and I will definitely be doing it again soon. I love you guys so much. Mwah.